Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Ngayon po ay May 25, 2023, Thursday at welcome po sa Thursday edition ng The Stock Market Today. Ang ating special news ay tungkol po sa M-Wide at gusto din natin maintindihan kung ano yung US debt ceiling. Ako po si Benji Chidoro, isang retired bank officer na nag-start mag-invest sa Philippine stock market noong 2007. Araw-araw ko pong binabalita ang pinaka-latest news tungkol sa inyong paborito at pinaka-aktibong stock sa Philippine market. Kung gusto niyo po ng content, naimbitahan ko po kaya mag-subscribe. Kung meron po kayong stocks na gustong ipa-review o may mga tanong tungkol sa Philippine stock market, i-comment nyo lang po sa comment box at aking po-prioritize. Hindi po ako financial advisor. Ang mga sinasabi ko po dito hindi po financial advice. Again, get well soon, Mari, to my cousin, may awang Diyos. Huwag kayong alis dahil babahagi ko sa inyo ating financial headlines at ang resulta ng trading. Ngayong araw, May 25, 2023, dito lamang po sa The Stock Market Today. Ang ating headlines ay galing po ng BDO Securities, ERC to complete transmission tariff review by August, FGen to join next green energy auction, ASAN plans a 25 billion preferred share offering. Magkano kaya ang interest nito, no? And also, we also have the top story of Business World, US debt default may rattle markets. And dito po, Fitch places US on a AAA rating downgrade watch. Kasi the US po has the highest credit rating in the world. Pero, kung hindi niya mababayaran ang kanyang pagkakautang or the debt ceiling will not be raised, ay mada-downgrade po siya to AAA. Yan po. So, ang una po, tingnan po natin yung ating special news on Mega-Wide, which is a downgrade to neutral, core operations facing difficulties, full year 22 and first quarter 23 results both missing expectations, cost pressures and land port vacancies eroding profits, improving land port operations ahead, first data center breaking ground, action valuation TP lowered to 350 from 590, and there is a downgrade to neutral. Okay, there's another news here on the downgrade of the US rating. Ratings agency Fitch put the United States on watch for possible downgrade. Ito po yung debt ceiling po nila. Ano po yung debt ceiling na yan? So, tingnan po natin. May definition po dito ang Department of Treasury ng US. The debt limit is the total amount of money that the US government is authorized to borrow to meet its existing legal obligations including Social Security, Medicare benefits, military salaries, interest on national debt, tax refunds, and other payments. Ngayon, iniisip ko kasi, ano ba yung debt limit? Bakit merong debt limit? Mas malaki pa? Obviously, mas malaki ang ginagastos ng gobyerno kesa tinatanggap nito, kaya meron siyang pagkakautang. Di po ba? So, in order to fund your disbursement, kailangan sapat lamang yung tinatanggap ng pera through taxes. Pero kulang po yun. Babayaran niyo po yung Social Security, Medicare, military salaries, interest on national debt. Paano ba umuutang ang US? Tulad nung Philippines, umuutang po siya through treasury bills and bonds. Nag-i-issue po siya niyan to the public. Yung treasury bills po, pagkakautang po yan ng gobyerno ng United States. Meron siyang US treasuries in the same way that the Philippine government has treasury bills and treasury bonds. Ngayon, tinignan ko po ang Wikipedia. yung United States debt ceiling since 2017 pa pala yan. In the United States, the debt ceiling or debt limit is a legislative limit on the amount of national debt that can be incurred by the U.S. Treasury, thus limiting how much money the federal government may pay by borrowing more money on the debt it already borrowed. So, they pay interest, they pay military salaries on borrowed money kasi kulang po yung taxes eh. So palaki po yung debt limit na yan. Nag-umpisa po yan noong 1917 through the authority of Congress dahil pumasok sa World War I. No? Dati may limit, maliit lang po yung debt ng US eh. Pero Congress authorized the issuance of a Liberty Bond in order to finance the US entry into World War I. Yan. Tapos nagkaroon po ng Public Debt Act in 1941. And then, several times and many times, the US debt ceiling was increased because the expenditures were larger than the amounts of taxes collected. Ngayon, ano mangyayari dyan kung mag-shutdown? Kung ma-breach yung debt ceiling, hindi ka na pwedeng humiram. So, paano mangyayari doon? So, hindi mababayaran yung mga sweldo ng gobyerno, funding ng military, interest on treasury bills, bonds, yung mga sinabi po niya dito, no? Social Security, Medicare, tax refund, interest on national debt. At meron po ako nakitang one way to get around it is for the government to use extraordinary measures. Ano po yung extraordinary measures? Kasi hindi ka na pwedeng humiram from the public. Ang gagawin niya, magbabawas ka ng expenditures. Ito po, no? Extraordinary measures can include suspending investments in the G Fund and Thrift Savings Plan of individual retirement funds. So, hindi na makaka-contribute ang US government doon. So, suspendihin niya. Suspending investments in the Civil Service Retirement and Disability Fund. Yan. Ito yung the Postal Service Retiree Fund, Exchange Stabilization Fund, and some other funds, ano? So, balik tayo sa 2023. So, according to the text of the debt ceiling law, if the debt ceiling is not raised and extraordinary measures are exhausted, the U.S. government is legally unable to borrow money to pay its financial obligations. At this point, the law indicates that the government must cease making payments unless Treasury has cash on hand to cover them. In addition, the law indicates that the government would not have the resources to pay interest and some redeem government securities when due, which would be characterized as a default. A default may affect the U.S. sovereign risk rating. Yun po yung downgrade to AAA, no? Dito. Yan, downgrade to AAA yan. And the interest rate that will be required to pay future debt. As of 2012, the U.S. defaulted on its financial obligation once in 1979 due to a computer backlog, but the periodic crises relating to the debt ceiling have led several rating agencies to the U.S. federal government credit rating downgrades. As of 2012, the GAO, General Appropriations, estimated that the delay in raising debt ceiling during the debt ceiling crisis raised borrowing costs for the government by $1.3 billion in the fiscal year 2011 and noted that the delay would also raise costs in later years. The Bipartisan Policy Center extended the GAO's estimates and found that the delay raised borrowing costs by $18.9 billion. So yun po ang epekto niyan. Na pagka hindi po nag-increase, namumuliti ka po itong mga Republicans eh. So ayaw niyang erase yung debt ceiling, samantalang ang Democrats gusto niyang erase. Yan. Joe Biden has been involved in months of tense talks with Republican opposition in Congress who have said they will agree to raise the borrowing limit only in exchange for significant spending cuts. So yan po. Yan po ang ating special news for the day. Mag-comment po kayo kung anong thinking niyo po dito sa US debt ceiling. Yan po. So, silipin po natin ang ating index. Ang ating index ay yan. Almost flat. Nasa 6601.48 down 14.47 points. The most active stock is Ayala Corporation, followed by SM, BDO, SMPH, and Ali. So we'll be back later as the market closes, so don't go away. Alright, we're back. And the index, naku, bumagsak na naman. 55.73 points. 0.84% down. So tingin ko sideways pa rin ang kanyang movement. All share index 0.81% din ang baba. Lahat ng sectoral indices ay down dahil po dyan sa pinag-uusapang debt ceiling ng US, hindi pa sila magkasundo dun. Anyway, the most active stock is AC, SM, JFC, and BDO. Yan po ang pag-uusapan natin. Plus, tingnan po natin si PCOR, which gained 5.03%. Tignan natin ang una, si Ayala Corporation ay yan, red candlestick din po. Lahat po ay in the red. Pero bullish po ang dating sa akin in the long, medium, and short term ang Ayala Corporation. Ngayon po, the resistance ay nakikita ko po dito sa areang to. Yan, nasa 663.81 samantalang or the support rather yan. Samantalang ang resistance nandito po sa area to 718.14. Bullish pa rin po kahit red candlestick po siya. Nasa ilalim po yung ating mga indicators. Yan po yung moving average. Earnings wise, kumikita naman po si Ayala. 41.48 yung first quarter niya. 27.30 in 2022 earnings. So expect the stock to move up in the coming days. SM naman, si SM, naku, bumaba din si SM, to green candlestick pero red. And I think this is because of this, yung sa US, nangyayari sa US ngayon na wala pang linaw yung kanyang debt ceiling. Anyway, SM is down today, but in the short and medium term ay bullish pa rin po siya. Resistance is here. Malapit po sa area to. Nasa 949 to 950. Yan po yung resistance. Ang support nandito po sa area to 892. So nasa gitna lang po ang kanyang presyo. Kumikita naman po si SM sa first quarter at ngayon din naman sa 2022 earnings niya ay maganda. Next, we have JFC. Si JFC, umakyat kaya ito? Umakyat po siya ng 4 centavos. Pero bakit dito? Yes, umakyat nga siya. 4 pesos, hindi 4 centavos. Nasa 234 na po si JFC. Earnings wise, mababa yung first quarter niya, but it's recovering. 33.38 po yung kanyang revenues in 2022. Yung next resistance level po ni JFC, nakikita ko po dito, nasa 247. Yun po ang next resistance level ni JFC. But on the short term, let's draw a parallel channel. Short term, yan. On the short term, ang kanyang support nandito po sa 226 and the short-term resistance is at 236. 246 is the higher resistance. Si BDO naman, BDO talagang steady lang siya. So nagdi-dip din po si BDO. Sideways po ang short-term indicator po natin. Pero yung medium and long-term ay nasa ilalim pa rin. So, ang kanyang pinaka-resistance is nasa 135. Actually, 133 to 135. Samantalang, that's the support rather. 133 to 135. And the resistance is here. Malapit po sa 143. Support and resistance, di po yan exact points. Areas po siya. PCOR is next. Naku, ang ganda ni PCOR. Oh. It has been moving that way. Actually, nakikita ko ditong formation is head and shoulders, pero na-define niya po yung head and shoulders formation niya. Head and shoulders is a bearish formation, pero na-define po niya yan. Say, here, kasi the initial resistance is here kasi. Nandito siya. Na ngayon ay support. Yan. So, nasa 372, it went up to 420 at sunod-sunod po yung akyat niya, no? And overbought na po yung stock. Ngayon, for a long time, ay mababa po ang presyo niya. In fact, umabot po yun ng 10 piso eh. So, it has been moving on its downward trend. Resistance level na po yung presyo niya at 420. And the next higher, mataas na, nasa 9 pesos na to. It continuously went down kasi. Yan o. From here, May 2016, umakyat siya noong May 2022. Nasa 1132 pa nga. Nakikita kong resistance. Yan o. 1135 yung higher resistance niya. And in fact, at one time, PCOR reached 14 pesos, 15 pesos dito po noong 2011. But that was a long time ago. So ngayon lang po siya umaakyat ng ganito. Yan po ang ating report sa stock market. Ika-25 ng Mayo. Ito po si Benji Chidoro. Nagpapaalala, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagsubaybay hanggang sa muli. Stay safe. God bless. Bye for now.